All right, I wanted to go over TNT by AC/DC today, just the verse part and how to count it and try to actually work your way through it um, without getting too stressed out. So basically, it starts out like I tend to get most people to try to bar all these strings, even though we're not playing them, because it's a nice way to get an E chord. So that's kind of cool. Most people, when they first learn, they play on their tips like this. But when we learn power chords and we want to do things like we want to keep this first finger here kind of muting out these bottom three strings. We're not pressing on them. Otherwise, we'd hear that. Because a power chord is basically just these three strings. So when we're playing AC/DC, I try to mute the bottom out and teach my finger to be like this. And usually when I show people this, they're like sitting on their finger flat like the. That's pretty tough because really we're trying to get these fingers up here to do some work. So I always say, can you bring your wrist in this way a bit more, like this. So then we get this cool, the AC/DC TNT, where we're just strumming the top two strings, and we try to get our pick. We try to get our pick to land on string 4. So yeah, something like this. You get good at doing this. Notice how I come back and I stop the strings from ringing. So my pick is actually sitting on the top string, and my finger is actually muting out these two. And then we try to get finger 2 to land on the top string, fret 3 after. So we get this. Everybody's going, that doesn't sound like TNT. No, I'm giving you strategies to kind of work through it, and then we're going to teach you how to get. So this would be the first 3 things I'd give everybody, and then they learn it within 20 minutes and can actually practice to get better at it. So that's a great thing about having strategies with guitar. And, we do it all the time when we're trying to improv. We look at chords and we figure out where we can work, and then we start jamming along with the song. But anyway, so we get this. If you want to hear how TNT would sound and how I would, play it along, and while I'm teaching, it'd be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. So lots of counting involved. So if we can get this where we stop the 2 strings. Now you can do a count and try to go 1 and 2 and 3 and. Try to get that finger 2 on the top string while that one's sitting there. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Because the next stand's going to come where this finger has to come down a string, pressing on strings 4, and the pick comes down and strums 5 and 4 together. And usually I try to get students to stop picking like this. Strings are down here, so try to make your pick land, have a home base on one of the strings below your working area. Right? Something like that. And you can't really see my pick, so I'll extend it. You shouldn't have a lot of pick sticking out, but just so you can see it, it's landing on this 3rd string. It's sitting on it. Not playing it, just landing on it. Same thing when I do the first part. My pick's now sitting on 4, but lightly. We don't need to be really, tough. It should be a light thing. Hand should be really not so stressed out or tense. Should be really loose and easy going. And then we get this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice how I still come back and stop those strings. Lots going on with both hands. So to get the sound to sound like the song, I'm noticing there's lots of details that people aren't talking about. So hopefully some of the stuff I'm teaching and their stuff will help you lots. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice I went and 4. and I stop that string again, but I get my pick ready on string 5. So when this finger comes down, it'll strum 5 and 4 and land on 3, my pick. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Get that good, and then we'll finish it. So now I would finish it going, because we know when we get to here, we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now I got to get to the top string, and with my pick, and 3 and 3 and. So really, my pick is picking 6, and then this finger comes off, and my pick drops down, picks 5 and 4, comes back to 6, and starts again. So the whole count in slow motion would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. See how the count's working? I have to get this note after the end of 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2. If it's too easy, you're probably not doing it right, or you're not thinking about counting. And yeah, learning guitar is all about metronomes and getting your rhythms good. If you started early, you'll be far better off than a lot of people, because most people just grab guitars and start strumming, and they don't really think about this hand too much. But a cool song to try to get through. And here's a chart on it with the counting in case you forget. You can take a screenshot of that. Hopefully you're seeing it good. And then there's the count: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You got to get back to this one when you say and, though. Right? So I didn't want to keep writing and make it all confusing. You'll feel it if you get the count and you're counting it. You'll automatically want to get there on the and, because it's just the way the song's written. You feel that push there, pushing you into the chord a little bit earlier from the first beat is basically what's happening. So you got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. Now I wouldn't try and take all that on at that speed right away. I don't ask my students to do that. I'd probably say more like, why don't you just work through the first part, go 1 and 2 and 3 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Maybe slow it down. 1 and 2 and 3 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and then start it again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So, and you can work it in steps like that. You know, so maybe you got to here 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Because the hard part about that is coming back and stopping the string from ringing. 1 and 2 and 3 and. In fact, I'm even lifting the pressure off. So I'm keeping my hands on the strings, but this hand's muting and this hand's lifting off at the same time, but staying on the string, just not pushing into the wood, the fretboard. If that helps. And lots of things to think about when we're learning a song. It's amazing. But 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Yeah, and the next part, TNT, just basically goes the opposite. With TNT, dynamite, TNT, I win that fight, TNT. So it just basically starts on the A, picking 5 and 4, 6, then 6 and 5. 3 times of that, and on the third one, so I'll play it all the way through. TNT, dynamite, TNT, yeah, win that fight. TNT, I'm a power load. TNT, and power chord, watch me explode. All right, everybody. I hope that's, if that's a song you want to learn, that tutorial will help you figure it out and get through it. That's one I learned when I first started playing great rock and roll band, AC/DC. Did a lot of cool stuff with guitars. Yeah, if you could hit subscribe and click on the notifications bell, that would be great there. Help support my channel. And I'll keep posting videos. I'll try to post one every day. The more supporters I get, I'll do more and more every day. All right, guys, thank you for your support again. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here soon.